Hey cruisers, it's Saturday night and we are live. Hey, wait, I didn't plan that. That came out kind of funny. I like it. Well, hey, welcome to our Saturday night live stream. We wanted to try this new time in hopes that it works for some of you. I know smack dab in the middle of a Saturday wasn't ideal for everybody, so we're giving this a try. For those of you who are new, welcome to CruiseTipsTV. Welcome to our live stream. Let us tell you a little bit about how this works. This is basically a 1-hour cruise Q&A session. There's no theme tonight, meaning you can ask questions about anything related to cruising, or you can ask questions about Cruise Tips TV if you would like, and we will do our best to answer them. So you don't have to stick to any one particular theme. You can talk about any cruise line, any destination, anything. So I see some people logging in right now. Hi TGT, hi Alex and Natalie, hi Brandy. You guys, tell us where you're from and tell us what is in your glass, because it is, after all, Saturday night, and I would like to know. And thank you all so much for joining us on a Saturday night. It's an honor to think that you would be willing to hang out with us in the middle of the weekend. So anyway, back to how this works for those of you who are new. If you have a question for us, keep it relatively brief in the live chat so that I can keep my eyes on the camera and not my computer, because the more that I can answer questions quickly, I can get back to the topics at hand and the content. So that's the best advice that I can give you. Wanted to also let everybody know that we are so appreciative for all the thumbs ups on our last video. We did kind of a fun, tongue-in-cheek but also serious video about 10 ways to get kicked off a cruise ship, and it has gotten about 3,000 views in 2 days, and for us that's kind of a lot. So I think it's a topic that everybody finds entertaining, so thank you so much for that. I see a few more people coming in. Well, a lot of people coming in. I want to catch up and say hello to everyone. I see Natalie, Crickle, Miss Lawson, Night Audit, let's see here, Low Community, Michael. Oh, hi, Michael, Ashley and fiance Michael. Okay, got it. Thank you for clarifying. Hi, Bonnie. Jennifer's here. Justine is here. Steve is here. Let's see. Oh, my goodness. We have so many of you coming in. This is so exciting. Great. Crickle, Becky, Mike and Cheryl, Diaries of Tiffany, Beth, Lee, Jack. Let's see, who do we have here? Sam from Arizona, just drinking water. That's okay, Sam. It's okay. You can drink water. You can drink iced tea. You can have whatever you want. Aaron, you're here, and I'm going to be answering your questions today live, so stay on for a little while. It's going to probably take us just a little bit of time to get to yours. Jen from Maryland. My goodness, I'm having trouble keeping up. Zachary, yes, you made it. Cooking dinner. Hey, Zachary, what is cooking tonight? What are you making? Tango family. Who am I missing, guys? I want to make sure I'm getting everybody. Angie with an A. Mary Garza. Rashida, let's see here. Bonnie's got grape juice in her glass. Meryl's saying hi from Canada. Sherry Sandlin is here. Alyssa Jack is here. Let's see here. All right, the cruise dudes are here. Hi, Tommy. Let's see here. We've got some questions coming in already, too. Strawberry, Tracy. Okay, I'm probably not going to be able to say hello to all of you personally because everyone's kind of coming in hot right now. So I see some questions coming in, and I'm going to try to answer these as fast as I can, and then we'll get on to some of the awesome questions that we have from our viewers and subscribers this week. We're going to be answering 15 questions that I have printed out, so I need all of you to help me out tonight. Those of you who are cruise experts can weigh in and help us answer some questions. And let's see, I'm missing that first question already. What happens in the beginning of a live stream is that when all of you say hello, it's hundreds of people all at once, and I can't quite keep up. So please forgive me. And if for any reason I do miss your question, just ask it again or let me know that I've forgotten it. My husband is sitting at another computer, and he's going to be monitoring the questions as well and helping me out here. All right, did you find the question for me over there in the cockpit?
I have one from SB. Does Carnival have a dining package like Norwegian?
Oh, okay, great. Sounds good. SB is asking, does Carnival have a dining package like Norwegian? I don't believe that they do, SB. I don't think that they have quite enough specialty restaurants to do that. I think that on the larger ships with all of their a la carte specialty dining places that they charge you per restaurant. So I don't think they have a package. If anybody else knows otherwise, please let us know. Okay, we've got Lola from Puerto Rico, yay, and we've got Australia. Someone's here from Australia, that's exciting. Natalie Duenas wants to know, if you book an excursion with the cruise line, will they reimburse you if they book an excursion and there's bad weather? Natalie, yes. If your excursion is canceled due to bad weather or really any other reason other than you just bailing out at the last minute, they will reimburse you. That's one of the perks of booking with the cruise line. Great question. HSM of 3 Jackson says, 5 days until our cruise, what is the best place to eat in Cabo? Well, you know what? We like to take a water taxi over to Medano Beach. If you've watched our show before, you've probably heard us talk about Medano Beach a lot. So we like to take a water taxi over there, and we usually eat at one of the restaurants on Medano Beach during the day. There's some great ones over there. We like to go to Billigan's, Billy, G-A-N-S. Billigan's Island is fun. Mango Deck is there. The Office is there, so I recommend some of those. Hope that helps. Money Maker Boy 16 says, can you bring a power strip on Carnival? You can probably bring a power strip on Carnival. We take one every single time. The key is that you need to take a non-surge protected type. Is that right? Is that right?
Yeah.
Okay, I'm checking with my techie husband. Non-surge, but yes, don't buy a cheapie. Buy a nice one, but make sure it's non-surge. You should have no trouble. We do it every single time.
USB hubs are good too for cameras, GoPro,
Great.
MP3 players, things like that.
And for the person who asked about the power strip, don't forget to also pack a USB charging hub. My husband is weighing in from the corner over there. That way you can charge all of your USB ready devices on that. Chris McCarty is weighing in saying that at this time they do not have a dining package. Chris, thank you so much. Tracy is agreeing with us that power strips are acceptable, but you better get one without surge. That is correct. Very, very true. Sue is going to Alaska in 45 days on Coral Princess. That's exciting, wonderful. Ronald is here. Hi, Ronald. I remember you from Twitter. Is there a way to cruise alone without having to pay double? Ron, the best way to cruise alone without having to pay double is to get a singles cabin on Norwegian. Norwegian has some awesome solo cabins, and they do offer really great rates for them. They're very small studio cabins, but they are awesome. They're the best in the industry, and I highly recommend that you check it out. It is all the rage, and I hear nothing but good things. And if you do, don't hesitate to let us know how it goes. We would love to feature your feedback on our show. All right, let's see here. All right, Susie Q wants to know if this is an adult beverage or plain water. It's a combination of both. It's a little bit of coconut tequila with some club soda. Lime flavored LaCroix, to be specific. I promised I would answer that question if you join the live stream, so thank you. Yeah, just a little cocktail for tonight. I thought we'd have a little fun Saturday night party here, so. Okay, we have some more great ones. Vicki Lawson wants to know, how is the food at Nachi Cocom? Oh my gosh, Vicki, the food at Nachi is so good and so plentiful. You basically, it's not all, they don't tell you it's all you can eat, but every single person in your party gets to order like 3 courses or something, and the courses are ginormous. I remember when we went to Nachi Cocom, there were 4 of us, and my son, who eats like a little bird, had his own like 3-course meal. They start you off with appetizers. It could be anything from a giant salad to a fruit platter that is this big to then on to entrees like coconut shrimp, traditional Mexican food, things like that. Way too much food, way more than you can eat, but man, was it delicious. And there's something about eating on the beach like that, it's just wonderful. So I highly recommend the food there. Yes, definitely. All right, let's see what other questions that we have here. Jeannie wants to know more about the alcoholic drink package on Princess. Can you take the alcoholic drinks in your room, and do you think it's worth it? Yeah, Jeannie, you can walk around the ship with your drinks. You can take a drink anywhere that you want. The only thing you can't do is order a drink for room service when you're on the drink package, but yeah, you can roam the ship with them. Got it. Let's see here. Oh, Alex and Natalie said if we had to delete one channel, would you delete Cruise Tips TV or Cruise Gear? I don't want to delete either one of them, Alex and Natalie, but of course it would have to be Cruise Gear because it's a smaller channel. The reason that we started Cruise Gear wasn't our intention. We started our Cruise Gear channel because people did not like, really, to hear about gear on this channel. They thought that we were being sponsored by some company that wanted us to sell things, which wasn't true at all. In fact, we've been probably sent 2 free products out of the maybe 50 that we've ever reviewed, and people just didn't like it. We got a lot of thumbs down, so we decided to move it over there. Hope that answers your question. Okay. What other questions do we have here? Well, you know what, you guys? Oh, Beth wants to know, has anyone heard how the Caribbean Princess is now that it's out of dry dock? Beth, I haven't heard, but we're going to be sailing on that ship to the Panama Canal later this year, and we're very excited, and we're following the refurbishments quite extensively. There's a wonderful video on Facebook by one of the employees who works at Princess. I want to say he's a sales executive, and he's really fun and witty, and he did a review on all of the different things that they added on the ship, and it is spectacular. What I'm going to try to do is share that video over on our Facebook page after this live stream, since none of the comments are going to save here. I'll try to get that to you. Okay. Let's see here. Sue wants to know any suggestions on Denali. I haven't been to Denali. I'm so sorry. I can't answer that for you, but hopefully someone else can. Denisha, you are a girl after my heart. Denisha has a spiced rum and lime LaCroix with a pineapple splash. Denisha, I need that recipe. That sounds fantastic. Wonderful. I know I'm missing questions here, you guys. I want to make sure that I'm getting them. Let's see here. Okay, JP said, are the casinos on cruise ships a lot tighter than those on land in terms of payouts? JP, you bet they are. That is what I hear time after time. They are totally tighter than land slots. Any other questions that you have for me? Great, I'm ready.
From Mike and Cheryl in Cozumel.
Mike and Cheryl have a question, okay?
Any official updates on Ocean Medallion Cruises canceling of inclusive babies?
Okay, Mike and Cheryl had gotten in touch with me earlier this week, you guys. They're booked on a Princess cruise, and they saw this notification that on Medallion, on the Ocean Medallion sailings, that Princess is actually canceling the all-inclusive beverage packages, and I still can't seem to figure that one out, Mike and Cheryl. I did see it, though. I saw on some kind of, when I was reviewing Princess's beverage policy, I saw the small print where it said not valid on Ocean Medallion cruises, but it would be really, really unwise for them to be the only cruise line in the industry without a drink package, right? So I just can't imagine that they would. I'm going to try to get some information from my PR contact for you, okay, at Princess. I'm going to email her and see what she says and see if we can figure this out, because it is really strange, and I want you to know the answer. So let me go ahead and just check out. James wants to know, has the stream actually started yet? James, yes, we are currently live. So you hopefully, if you can't see it, refresh a couple times, log out, log back in, and hopefully you'll be able to see us. All right, any tips for, Mari Garza says, any tips for RC Oasis, what to do first, which areas of the balcony and boardwalk is best? Mary, I haven't been on that ship, but I certainly hope that someone else can weigh in on the first thing you should do on Oasis of the Seas. Brandon wants to know if we've ever thought about booking a group cruise for your YouTube subscribers. Brandon, yes. We get asked this question quite a lot, and we're just not quite ready yet. I know it's something that we'll do in future years. Right now, it's just a matter for us of kind of juggling this channel and our day jobs and everything else and family time. So we want to do that, and we're really excited and honored that there's so much interest in that. I think that when we do it, we're probably going to try to do it in partnership with someone else in some way, because it's too much for me to manage the coordination of all of that. I really want to give my energy to this channel and to make sure that when we do group cruise like that, that I can just jump on board and enjoy all of our viewers and subscribers. And so we would love another opportunity to interact, and we will keep you posted on that. Believe me, when and if we do that, you're going to hear about it, my friend. All right, Sue G says, okay, Sherry, spill the beans. Where are you going on your next cruise? Sue, we're going on Carnival Miracle this summer. Yay, to the Mexican Riviera. So stay tuned. You'll be seeing some vlog stuff soon. We'll just surprise you, okay? But it's going to be a fun one. We're going to be doing some different things. Our son is getting older. He's getting more adventuresome. We're really loving that. Even though my husband and I are getting older, we're really enjoying the fact that we can get a little bit more back into more active excursions and things like that. So we're going to be doing some sailing and some snorkeling and things like that. We're really excited. Beth says, do you recommend Sabatini's on Crown or Crown Grill on Princess? Beth, my personal preference is definitely Crown Grill. I like Sabatini's, but I don't love it. I know that Tommy from the Cruise Dudes podcast is here, and I want to say that Tommy just did a recent review on his dining experience on Sabatini's on one of those same classes of ships, and he really loved it. I guess that they've kind of revised the menu a little bit, and it sounds wonderful. So maybe, Tommy, if you want to let Beth know how you liked Sabatini's and if you like it more than Crown Grill. Me, I'm a steak girl. I like a good, beautiful steakhouse experience, all the traditional stuff. I like my filet mignon medium well. Don't get mad, I know I like it too well done. But that's kind of just my preference. I find Sabatini's to be good, but not as much worth spending the money on because I think their dining room food is so darn good that I really don't have to. So if I'm gonna splurge, I'm gonna go there. Emily's going on her first cruise to the Bahamas. Any tips? Emily, it's your first cruise in general or your first cruise to the Bahamas? Yeah, go check out Atlantis if you've never been there before, or maybe do a resort for the day. Nassau is not the most exciting port in the world, and a lot of people just stay on the ship, so it's not, it's not that great. So make sure you plan something fun to do in the Bahamas. Also, as a first-time cruiser, the tip that we always try to give you is to be flexible and, expect changes. Cruises are very dynamic. Weather changes can happen. You could have changes. So go into your cruise and be flexible. I hope that helps you. It's hard to address tips in a general fashion on this show. I'm gonna go ahead and get to some of our tips today from our subscribers that we've been asked throughout the week, you guys, and you can help me answer them. Our first one today is from TGT, also known as the Gaming Tex, who's here today. Hello. Wants to know, with NCL's Free at Sea promotion, there is an additional charge for the beverage package. It seems like a great deal, free sodas and others, but is it worth the extra money since you can bring drinks on board? Okay, TGT, my answer is this. If your party is going to be consuming adult beverages, alcoholic beverages, the surcharge is probably worth it. If not, if you're just going to be... if you're going to choose the beverage package as one of your free at sea promotions and you're not going to consume alcohol, absolutely do not choose it as one of your free at sea promotions. Choose the specialty dining and something else because that is a waste of money. I would do something like the free internet or maybe the free $50 a day shore excursion credit, something like that, but definitely only if you're going to be consuming alcohol. I hope that helps you. Let me know in the comments if that answered your question. Shelly Smith, you guys, has the greatest comment. Shelly, I hope you're here today because I've been really excited to answer this question for you all week. She said, I've been binge watching your cruise videos and just ran across your Star Princess vlogs. The video camera you're using does a beautiful job of capturing those amazing sunrises and sunsets. Just wondering what camera you use. I may be in the market for a new one before our next cruise in October. Thanks for sharing your tips and adventures. Shelly, the very fancy camera that I use to film all of our vlogs is my phone. I used my phone for 99% of our vlogs. It is just a standard Apple phone. I'm sorry, iPhone. It's either a 6 Plus or a 6S. I can never remember. Do you know which one it is? It's a 6 Plus S. My husband always has to remind me. So I filmed the entire thing with this camera. Those sunrises and sunsets you saw were me up at 5:30 in the morning while my husband and my son slept in using this bad boy. So I cannot say enough that the best camera that you have is the camera you have with you, and iPhones are amazing these days. I also edit my vlogs in iMovie right on my phone, and then when we get home, I transfer them to my husband, and he edits a little bit in Final Cut, but not a whole lot. He'll add some music sometimes and clean things up for me a little bit, but that's how we do the vlogs. Now, when we're talking about these episodes and stuff, we're using a fancy DSLR and a lot of other high-tech equipment, but not on the cruise. So I hope that helps you, Shelly. Ashley Dunn wants to know a little bit more about gratuities, you guys. They're going to Alaska. It's their first cruise. They're really confused about tipping. They said, we are a little confused about gratuity. We're used to tipping people as they provide helpful services. Is it worth it to do automatic gratuity, or should we just have some small bills with us? Ashley, cruising in North America, pretty much anywhere that you cruise with the exception of Australia, it is customary to allow the cruise line to charge your account the daily amount for gratuities for your stateroom steward and the dining staff. Those gratuities are also used for other people on the ship, so do not remove them. I suggest that you keep them on. This is a controversial topic, however. Pardon me, you guys, I have a little bit of allergies this week and I'm a little stuffy. But small bills are also a great idea, but not so much on the ship. You're very rarely going to need small bills because when you buy a drink, for example, you're going to be charged a gratuity, probably 18%. So leave those automatic tips on your bill, and a few $1 bills for room service would be nice. So every time you get a tray of room service, maybe $2 or $3. And of course, your porters when you arrive. at the cruise terminal, and also you probably will want them on shore. So definitely take cash, but leave the tips on. Let the cruise line take care of that for you. Okay, let's see here. Alex, I'm gonna skip back here to the questions in the live stream for just a moment. Let's see here. Do you have any that you want me to focus on?
I have some quick ones.
Great.
Lola wants to know best dates for cheap prices.
Lola, best dates for cheap cruise prices in North America. The absolute best and cheapest time to cruise, believe it or not, in mainstream places like the Caribbean and the Mexican Riviera are between Thanksgiving and Christmas. So for example, the week after Thanksgiving, the first 2 weeks of December, cheap as can be, best time to cruise, and probably best weather too. Less chance of hurricanes and storms. Hope that helps. Okay, Rhonda, I'm so glad you got to say hi. Go back to work. I understand. I'm so glad you came. Bye. I see Kim wants to know here, what about working with a travel agent for a group cruise? Kim, working with a travel agent on a group cruise is more important than anything. Even, I mean, yes, it's important to use a travel agent on your own booking, but on a group cruise, it's critical. So, I think you're asking me, maybe I should do that? I just realized that I misread the question. Yes, when we do it, we're gonna work with a travel agent, so thank you. I'm sorry, I totally misunderstood the question. Meryl wants to know if I've been on Carnival Vista. We haven't yet, but it's definitely on my list. I would love to get on that ship. Everything looks fun, from the sky ride to that seafood shack. I really want a lobster roll from the seafood shack. Beth wants to know if I recommend the coffee card on Princess. Oh yes, Beth. I recommend it, and I use it every time. This is what I love about the coffee card on Princess. The little guide that you buy can be transferred from cruise to cruise. So if you don't get all the holes punched on the card, you can take it on your next cruise. It's fabulous. Deborah wants to know, how do you use your cell for a clock on the cruise? Oh man, that's dangerous, isn't it? We do use our cell phones for clocks, but we watch them very carefully because you can't control it, right? So if your cell phone is still on shore time and you're in another time zone, there's perhaps nothing that you can do to get your phone to catch up. So what the answer is, we use an old-fashioned wristwatch on a cruise. It's the best way to go. I actually don't think I've ever mentioned that tip before, but we actually take a watch with us and an old-fashioned alarm clock. So that is okay. Okay, Paul says, I'm looking at my first ocean view cabin and I can see some really cheap, fully obstructed. Will you be able to see anything? Paul, it's really difficult to say. Google the cabin number. So if it's Carnival Vista, cabin C333, Google photos of Carnival Vista C553 and see if you can find a photo online. There are lots of websites that compile cruise cabin photos for you and they may be able to help. Jeff wants to know, how do you get upgrades on your cruise? You know what, Jeff? It's random. There's no secret way. There's no silver bullet. There's no answer. You just have to hope for the best. I will tell you that the times that I've been upgraded have always been when I booked with a travel agent, though. It may be a coincidence, but it's true. Okay. SB said, if you get a drink package on NCL, every drink they'll charge you 18%. No, they will charge you a gratuity on the package price. So they're not going to charge you per drink, okay? Let's see here. You have a question for me over there in the cockpit?
It's been a while. It's from Becky Reef.
Becky, I'm sorry. I'm taking forever to answer your question. It's coming. Okay, go ahead.
Can you book Crown Grill for embarkation night only once on? I think what she means is, can you pre-book embarkation night?
Yeah, okay, so Becky's asking, can you book Crown Grill ahead of time for embarkation or once you're on board? You should be able to book it any time. You should be able to pre-book it or book it once you're on board. I would pre-book it, but quite honestly, most of the specialty restaurants on these ships are not full on night one. Usually that's their slowest night and they offer some kind of perk, so I would highly recommend that you pre-book it if you can, but don't hesitate to do it once you get on. Jeff, does Holland America allow you to bring your soft drinks on the cruise ship? Jeff, I'm not sure. I'm not up to speed on Holland America's drink package, so we're going to find out for you, and what we'll do is we'll link to their drink package after this live stream airs. On a replay, we're going to go ahead and link to you on their package. Jennifer stopped by to say bon voyage. You're leaving tomorrow on your cruise. Bon voyage. Rolling Ring wants to know, does anybody use Uber to get to the hotel, from the hotel to the ship? Yes, a lot of people use Uber. Do it. It's cheaper than transfers and you don't have to wait. So if you're comfortable with your cruise port and you don't have to go a terribly long distance and you price it out and it's cheaper than the cruise ship transfers, highly recommend Uber. Okay, let's see here. Ryan Richards said, if you're on a 3-day cruise, what would you say the clothing for main dining room? Oh, okay, Ryan, so it's a short cruise. What cruise line, Ryan? I'm gonna give you general guidance, but I would say, for men, I would say like Dockers khakis and a couple of nice shirts, like a polo or button up would be fine. If there's no formal nights at all, just go with like what you would think of as business casual. Probably fine for most of them. You're gonna be finding that those shorter cruises are more casual. The Recon 1A, you just got on. I haven't answered your question yet, but since you're here, I'm gonna do it right now, okay? Because I do have you towards the end of the live stream, and I'm gonna go ahead and push that up for you a little bit. Let me find your question. Okay, all right, guys, here we go. Let's help the Recon 1A. Taking his beautiful wife on the Carnival Valor for her birthday Monday. Oh, it's really soon. I didn't realize it was so soon. Trying to save a bit of cash, but was wondering if we know of an expensive way to sightsee in Progreso and Cozumel, guys. So let's help out with Progreso and Cozumel. I'm going to give you my opinion on this. The Recon 1A. Here we go. Ready? Cozumel. I did some research for you. And if I were going on a budget, now this is the other thing, you guys, definitely doesn't want to spend a lot of money here. I would go to Paradise Beach in Cozumel. It's a la carte, meaning that you can take a taxi cab there for about $19. You pay a $3 entrance fee, and then everything else, like your drinks and your food, are all a la carte. So I think that you can make your goal of maybe $50 to $60 for a couple. Just you can still go to a beautiful beach and take a cab there. So look up paradise-beach-cozumel.com. In Progreso, I've never been, but everybody tells me that Progreso is basically just the gateway to the ruins. You gotta go to the ruins. That's really the only thing to do there. So hopefully we'll have some other folks weigh in on Progreso here. So let's see here. Sue wants to know if there's any good crab restaurants in Alaska that we recommend. Yes, Sue, I think it's Tracy's Crab Shack on the pier in Juneau. Tommy, Cruise Dude Tommy, is that right? Is it Tracy's Crab Shack in Juneau that's good? I've heard it's amazing. It's expensive, but it's life-changing. So definitely check that out. Got another question for me?
Well, this went by a while ago. It's from
Okay.
Rolling Ring, but it's one that you can address generally.
Okay.
How can I convince my homebody husband to cruise more?
Rolling Ring asks, how can I convince my homebody husband to cruise more? Okay, well, I'm gonna sell it to you here. I'm gonna sell it to your husband because that's what I do. Just kidding. Okay, I actually think that cruising can be a good thing for someone who's kind of a homebody, and guess why? When you are on a cruise, you only have to unpack once and you can hang out in your room the great majority of the time. Tell him, show him some pictures and videos of a nice balcony cabin. Tell him there's a TV in there and that you can spend a lot of time without having to, go to different cities on airplanes and pay a lot of extra money for flights and things like that. You'll probably actually have more kind of chill out quality time together. I think it could be great for a homebody. So maybe I sold it. We'll see. Let me know what he says. Let's see here. What other questions do we have? Did you have any for me?
Oh, yeah.
Okay, great. I'm ready. More questions coming at you.
SB says, and this is another one you can address generally speaking.
Okay.
So what will I get nickeled and dimed on with NCL?
Okay, this is SB. SB wants to know, what will we get nickeled and dimed for on NCL? Let me think about this. Well, it depends on what kind of a free at sea package that you signed up for. There's definitely a lot more for charge things available on Norwegian than some other cruise lines. Their concept is kind of a la carte. So you could be nickeled and dimed for drinks. If you do not buy the specialty dining package or you don't get that as part of your free at sea, you're going to be nickeled and dimed for that. But I highly recommend that if you get free at sea that you do choose that dining package. The food in the Norwegian dining rooms is just not as good as other cruise lines, and I highly recommend that you do that. You'll get nickeled and dimed for water and soda and spa services and shore excursions, pretty much everything that you would on other cruise lines. It's not that unusual. It's just those specialty dining restaurants are probably the big key there, and drinks, but it's not that terribly different, I guess, when I stop and think about it. I think Royal Caribbean's starting to do a little bit more nickel and diming, I hear, as well. So, there's just more options for people. There's entertainment, and entertainment can cost money too, like shows and things like that. But you're not going to find that quite as much there. JP wants to know any excursion advice for Puerto Vallarta or Mazatlan. JP, it depends entirely on what kind of a cruiser you are. It's difficult for me to give you advice because I don't know how active you are, but I will tell you that on our last cruise to Mexico on the Star Princess, and you can watch our vlogs, we have a Star Princess vlog playlist. You will see Puerto Vallarta covered there. We are quite adventuresome, and we went ziplining with Los Veranos canopy tours. It was the trip of a lifetime, an amazing day. You can also take a cab to the Malecon, the boardwalk in Puerto Vallarta, and you can walk there. It is one of the most beautiful little waterfront areas. There's great restaurants, there's good shopping, great bars, lots to do there. There's just a ton to do. We like to get day passes at hotels in Puerto Vallarta. A couple of our favorites would be the Hyatt Ziva and Now Amber. Awesome day passes, and we are doing that on our next cruise. Really excited about it. Vicki Lawson wants to know, question for our son. What is our son's favorite thing to do on a cruise? Oh, I love that question. Oh, you already answered it. What did you say, honey? Did you say water slides?
No, I said hang out in the pool and jacuzzi.
Okay, yeah, so my husband says his favorite thing to do is hang out in the pool and jacuzzi. I was gonna say it would be water slides, but it's pretty much the same thing, but not all of the ships we've been on have had water slides. Is that why you were saying that?
And play Minecraft.
Yeah, he also likes to play Minecraft in our stateroom after dinner. We get tired and we're winding down, and he likes to play Minecraft on his device. Our son also likes to interact with the staff. It's a very big part of cruising for us to have him get to know our dining steward and our wait staff and teach him to appreciate other people and other cultures, and he enjoys it. He really does. And by the end of the cruise, it's actually kind of sad for us to leave. I mean, a lot of times we're on a first name basis. We know their kids' names, and we get to know these people like their family. And so he's really into that. But he loves everything about cruising. By the way, though, he doesn't like the kid centers. He doesn't go to them. He hangs with mommy and daddy the whole time, and he loves it. And we do too, because we appreciate and cherish him, and we work a lot when we're home. So we just kind of want to be together as a family. So I hope that helps you. All right, what other questions do we have coming in?
We've been asked about whether we've been on the Diamond or Sun.
Okay, Princess?
Yeah.
Yes, we have been on Diamond Princess. It's a beautiful ship, love it. It's been many years. We haven't been on the Diamond Princess probably since 2006 or 7, but we loved it. And that was actually my husband's first cruise, was on Diamond Princess. It was really special. So it is an awesome ship. Love it. Okay.
While you're on Princess.
Yes, another Princess question.
Yes, from Michael Sherman. Does Princess Cruises have a policy about taking food from the buffet back to your room or saving some for later?
So the question for Michael was, does Princess have a policy about taking food from the buffet to your room? They're not strict about it. You can take the food from the buffet to your room, not a problem at all. You should be just fine. Tasman says, do smaller ships have a noticeable difference in the rocking? Wondering if you should stock up on Dramamine. Yeah, Tasman, you may notice it on smaller ships, and there are just certain ships that have better stabilizers. Probably the least rocking we've ever felt on a cruise was on a larger ship. It was Royal Caribbean Liberty of the Seas, and you just don't even feel like you're at sea. It's bizarre. It's bizarre. So yeah, you might want to go for the mega ships. It might help you a little bit. Let's see here. Okay, Steve is saying, hey Sherry, we're looking more at Princess after the epic cruise in January 29. Is it fair to say that Princess is a bit more sophisticated without being stuffy? Steve, I would never classify Princess cruises as being stuffy. I will say that the demographic is much older though. So you're gonna get more like people not doing a whole lot of anything. It's kind of like Holland America. Have you ever heard that joke that on Royal Caribbean, their tagline is "Get out there"? Holland America, their tagline, and this is a joke, obviously, off of message boards, is "I'm fine right here, thanks." You're gonna find a little bit more of "I'm fine right here, thanks" on Princess, and we love Princess. We think it's great. Now, that's for longer voyages. The shorter voyages, the 7-night, they all kind of blend together. The clientele is gonna blend together across all of these cruise lines, depending on when you sail. But if you're sticking with a 7-day, you might find that. I've heard that Celebrity can be a little on the stuffy side, but Princess I would not describe that way. I'd say it's more sophisticated, yeah, premium, and luxurious a little bit more, but no, not so much. Craig, do I have videos of that cruise? I don't know which one Craig means. Do you?
I mean the Diamond Princess.
Oh, Craig, I don't have videos of the Diamond Princess, but Star Princess is really similar, so watch our Star Princess vlogs. You're going to find a lot of similarities, except for Star is an older ship. Okay? All right.
There was one that got by about who has the best bed. And
Oh.
I lost track of who it was, but he asked a couple of times.
Okay.
And that's kind of a, it's kind of a personal thing.
Yeah.
Really.
Somebody asked here who has the best bed. Princess's new beds are definitely the best beds. They're making a major sweep through their cruise ships, and it's a big change because their old beds were not so great. So hopefully you can benefit by that information. Michael Sherman said, my fiance wants to know how ladies coordinate traveling around the Princess Cruise in swimsuit and wrap. We're going to Alaska, but still want to get in the hot tub and avoid awkward looks. Okay, Michael, she should just take a swimsuit cover up with her, or she can wear her robe from her stateroom. I use a swimsuit cover up. You won't get weird looks. I think what you mean is if you're going from like your stateroom to the pool and the hot tubs, don't worry about it. She'll be fine. It's totally appropriate. Most people don't walk around in their swimsuits when they're off the pool deck, but all she needs is a simple swimsuit cover up, okay? Let me know if I answered your question, please. Okay, let's see here. Eve Sharp says, what are your favorite things to do without your husband and son? I like being with my husband and son, but honestly, I wake up very early and they do not. I'm a 5 a.m. kind of a girl. So my favorite thing to do when I do have the opportunity is to see the sunrise and to photograph it for you. So hopefully that answers your question. I also do like to exercise on cruises. I generally do not go to the spa. I don't like to spend the money. I'd rather do that at home where I can get it cheaper, but I'll go work out. Sometimes I'll go visit I'll use the spa services like the steam rooms and things like that alone and then take a shower in a large shower in the spa. I really do enjoy that. So, okay, Michael, good. I'm glad I answered your question. Very good. Chris Sukarata says, do you use Carnival to book your flight and do it on your own? Is Carnival cheaper on flights? I've never used Carnival to book my flight, Chris. I book my own. But I will say Princess flights are really great. They're the ones where I would consider booking through the line, and you can actually book them on their website. Good question. Okay. Yes. Oh, no. Okay. Inuj Iongi says, what tips would you give to someone who wants to cruise but has a fear of it sinking? That's a really great question. I've never been asked that before. Inuj, my advice to you is to watch lots of videos on cruises and just see what the experience is like so that you or whomever has this fear can get over it. We have lots of vlogs on our channel, and there's loads of YouTubers out there where you can watch what it really looks like to be on a cruise experience. I think that just kind of, getting some images in your mind about what it really is like. It's a lot less like being on a boat than it is like being on a floating shopping mall with lots of restaurants. So don't worry, it's going to be fine. Obviously choose a reputable cruise line with a very good safety record and you're going to be fine. I hope that helps you. Okay, is it Rashida says, any ship recommendations for your 10-year-old son's first cruise if you book Disney or another cruise line that is recommended? Rashida, it depends on your budget. Disney is a very expensive cruise line. I personally cannot afford it, but I would recommend that you, with a 10-year-old, if they like water slides and things like that, I would look at one of the Norwegian or Royal Caribbean ships that has some great water features. I would do that. I think that's how I would kind of take a look at it. Okay. Justine says, who are some of your other favorite cruise YouTubers? Justine, honestly, I don't watch very many other cruise YouTubers, but I need to think about that a little bit, and I'll try to get back with you. I have a lot of different things going on in my life and not as much time to watch, but I'll try to find out, and if I can figure them out, I'll link to them in the comments below later. Does that sound good? Okay, cool. Let's see here. I know you guys are all weighing in on movies not to watch before you cruise. Don't watch Titanic, says Low Community. Zachary says, don't watch Poseidon Adventure before every cruise. Zachary, you still watch it, but you've been on a lot of cruises, so you know there's nothing to be afraid of. So if you are afraid of cruising, do not watch bad cruise movies. That is so funny. And don't watch the YouTube video of the Costa Concordia. No kidding, you guys. I know. Justine has a challenge for you. She says, everyone, let's drink every time Sherry says cruise. Good, I'm in. Okay. Justine, this one is for you. Richard Scott, you are right. Richard Scott says, I love the sea cruisers and the cruise guys. Are you talking about the cruise dudes? Yes, Richard, I like the sea cruisers too. They're amazing and they go on so many different cruises. Their vlogs are so fun. I actually did watch one of their snorkeling in the Caribbean vlogs. Man, they cover everything and they really take you with them on their cruises. So whomever asked me about other cruise YouTubers, it was Justine. Yeah, the sea cruisers are fantastic. Love them. Very, very true. Checking to see if any other questions are coming in, and then I want to switch over, you guys, to some of the questions that we had from other cruisers here, guys. Okay, you guys, Erin Leclerc has a lot of questions for us, and we need to help her with a lot here. They're going on Crown Princess to Antigua, St. Kitts, St. Thomas, and Grand Turk, and have some questions. Number one, what important items do people bring with them when they go to port to visit a beach? Is what they bring different if they take a taxi to a beach or if they book an excursion through the ship? So, Erin, I think I already sent you a link to my What's in My Shore bag video. I want you to watch that. That'll really help you. But her other question was, do they need to take their beach towels with them in their suitcase on the cruise? Erin, no, do not pack beach towels. The cruise line provides them for you. Do not waste your suitcase space. Number three, in the case of rain, what do folks prefer, umbrellas or ponchos? For me, it's umbrellas. They will also be at Grand Turk for only 6 hours, and even though this is their first cruise, what are the benefits of staying on the ship that day? They'll have had 3 days of ports before, and they're thinking of some chill ship time, but they don't want to have FOMO about missing out on Grand Turk. Erin, get off the ship in Grand Turk. Do not stay on the ship. Don't stay on the ship for any of those ports. You've got to go to Grand Turk. There are beaches within walking distance, so you don't have to do an excursion. Just walk to the beach. And let's let some of our subscribers say in here what they think you should do in Grand Turk. Okay? And I think I'm getting through your questions here, Erin. Let's see here. You're thinking of booking St. Kitts and Nevis excursions through the ships. Has anyone ever booked a St. Kitts and Nevis excursion, and what did you think of it? And hopefully I covered most of what you were asking. So on to our next question, you guys. G-Dub Walker wants to know if anybody here uses luggage covers and if that's a good investment. G-Dub Walker, thank you for asking. I have never used a luggage cover. I like that question. Britton M wants to know, how do you deal with people trying to sell you stuff at the ports? A very firm but polite no, thank you. Hey, unless you want to buy the stuff. That's how I deal with it. And avoid eye contact. I'm sorry, but you kind of have to. I'm a very nice person, but I avoid eye contact. Okay, Si Young Lee, I hope I'm saying your name correctly. Booked their first cruise on Princess West Coast Getaway 4-day trip, taking their 5-year-old. Any recommendations? Si Young, I'm going to try to answer this as fast as I can, and then I'll look in the comments and see who else has some comments for you. But for a 5-year-old, you need to take something to entertain them at dinner. Those dinners are long. Plan on 2 hours. If you have a device for your child, just let them use it a little bit during the dinner. Take a book. Take a coloring book. Take some toys that aren't loud. Whatever you can to entertain them. It's a lot to expect of a 5-year-old. My second tip for you is to take advantage of the fact that the pools on Princess are heated. They're wonderful. Enjoy it. You're going to love it. Also, when we're cruising, we have an 8-year-old who cruised a lot when he was 5 too. And one of the best things that I can recommend for you on a cruise is to encourage your child to be adventurous about their food choices on a cruise. Talk to them in advance and say, hey, look, we're gonna try new foods this week. You know, mommy doesn't have to cook for you all week. You get to try new stuff, and I want you to try something new every day or whatever. You can do whatever you want, but we do that with our child. So I hope that that helps you. Okay, lots of people are saying here, Erin, that Grand Turk is outstanding and that you should go to Jack's Shack and see Topher the dog. Definitely Google it. Jack's Shack Topher, spelled T-O-P-H-E-R, the dog. So cute. I've seen videos of this, so that's awesome. Zachary is saying that luggage covers are great if you have a generic suitcase design. Makes it easy to identify on the belt and thieves are less likely to steal them. Ha, Zachary has Mickey Mouse themed luggage, so you don't need it. No, you don't, Zachary. You don't need a luggage cover. That's awesome. Do you have anything that you want to share with me over there? I see you looking at me. No? Okay. Oh, I see that somebody went on a group cruise with the Sea Cruisers. Angie with an A. Was it amazing? Amy, Elizabeth, and everyone. Yeah, they're awesome. That is so cool. I'm glad that you did that. Okay, let me answer some more questions here, folks. TMJD79 is doing Mexican Riviera with Carnival for Halloween this year. This is a really unique question, you guys. I need your help on this one. Any tips on cruising Mexico for Halloween? and Day of the Dead. Also, what do you suggest for a day in Cabo without booking an excursion? Never been to Cabo. I'm going to sound like a broken record, but we always go to Medano Beach in Cabo. We take a water taxi. Right when you walk off the cruise ship, people will be trying to sell you water taxis to anywhere and everywhere. You could take a water taxi to Medano Beach, to the Arches, all kinds of things. You don't have to book an excursion. You can also walk around town, but to me it's too hot and too frantic. I don't like doing that. I feel like when I've done it once, I've done it. Sometimes we'll go to the grocery store in Cabo and stock up on soda and water and sunscreen and things like that. But other than that, I just want to get out of there and get to the beach. So hopefully we can get some advice on cruising Mexico for Halloween and Day of the Dead. Sam S. has a question. Do you get a better deal on booking a cruise whilst on a cruise? They're going in July, but also going to Alaska. Okay, I'm going to give you the short answer, Sam. If you plan to sail with the same cruise line in the next 2 years, it is almost always worth it to visit the future cruise desk on your sailing to book your future cruise, because you're going to get a reduced a reduced deposit and some onboard credit. So I don't know what line you're on, Sam, but Princess has one of the best future cruise desks, and I recommend it. Okay. Asha Campbell wants to know if we have any tips for St. Martin. When we went to St. Martin, Asha, we took a little mini boat excursion around the island, and it was really fun. But if anybody else has any tips on St. Martin, that would be fantastic. Okay, let me see whose questions that we have missed here. I'm going to buzz through these really quickly, you guys, and just make sure. Okay, Deidre Smith, we've got to cover Deidre's question. If anybody has any tips for Deidre on holiday cruising and cruising for the first time with kids, tweens, and teens, how to have fun together and apart, and a cabin set up for 4 or more. So Deidre, be patient on a holiday cruise. Expect that there's going to be lots of other children. Keep your kids close to you at all times. Don't let them run free. You got to be careful because there's just a lot going on and there's a lot more kids. First time cruising with kids, let them get involved, Deidre, in the planning process with you. Have them help you pack, choose different things they want to do in the ports and things like that. Also, because you're going to be in a cabin with 4 or more people, you're going to want to slide your luggage under the bed once it's unpacked to save room, okay? That's probably a really good idea. How to have fun together and apart. Now, I noticed you have an 11 and 13-year-old, so they might be out on their own here and there, but I would recommend that you have very set guidelines on what you expect of them and what you think that they should, when you guys should come back together. So maybe it's you're always together for breakfast, lunch, and dinner, but they have some freedom during other hours. I hope that that helps you. Bill Meinke asked us a question on Facebook, you guys, another really great question. Wants to know if us or any of our followers know of a company in the LA, Los Angeles area that can provide a caregiver for a cruise. His mother-in-law started cruising and she's now in assisted living and needs someone to help her. She wants to get on another cruise while she can. Also, Marissa Medellin wants to know if we can do a video on cruising while pregnant. Marissa, I would love to do that. I'm not sure I have enough information, but I'm going to give you some tips on cruising while pregnant. Definitely talk to your doctor before you cruise. You know that there's a limit on when you can cruise. I think it's 24 to 26 weeks is the cutoff. I would say definitely you might want to pack some of your own water bottles and really focus on staying hydrated on your cruise to avoid swelling and things like that. People tend to swell more on cruises. Feet and leg swelling is an issue, and when you're pregnant that can be an issue as well. And maybe pack some ginger chews and motion bands for seasickness. I think that we've covered all the questions here, so I'm going to go ahead and make sure that I'm focusing on you guys and checking to see what questions are coming in. Night Audit is recommending another channel to watch is Popular Cruising, but more focused on ships. Yes, Night Audit, that is so true. Jason Leppert is a wonderful video producer. He's also a full-time cruise journalist for Travel Pulse, and his videos are spectacular. He has I would say probably hundreds of ship tours on his channel. We love Popular Cruising, I absolutely do. Craig Butlin wants to know, what is our favorite ship we've ever been on and how many ships have we been on? We've probably been on 20 or more ships, and our favorite ship, can't answer it. I like them all. Craig, it's like having multiple kids. You can't pick your favorite. But my favorite class of ship is Princess's Grand class. I love them. I love the heated covered pools, and I gravitate back towards them. But we've never been on a bad cruise. I don't really like short cruises. I will say that. But yeah. Jeff wants to know if there's a type of walkie-talkie that works best on cruise ships. Jeff, you know, it's a tough one. A lot people, I think, are getting away from using walkie-talkies these days in lieu of using the apps that the ships provide to communicate with one another. So we'll do some research on that. Always be booked. Hey, Tommy, you made it. Always be booked. Tommy is weighing in on St. Maarten, and he said that in St. Maarten, Orient Beach is breathtaking, or you can stay close to the ship and check out the downtown area, boardwalk, and Great Bay Beach, which are all in the same spot. Angel Fury 2007, is there less entertainment on a 4-day coastal cruise? Yeah, a little bit less entertainment, but not too much less. I think they'll do their best to try to entertain you as much as they can in a short time, so I wouldn't worry. SB said Ray's Jewelry Store in St. Maarten is also a great place to go. Yay, that's a great tip. Thank you. Let's see here. Someone wants to know, Amaryllis Santiago wants to know if anybody has any tips on excursions in Barbados, St. Lucia, St. Kitts, and St. Thomas. I can tell you in St. Thomas, I hear that taking a ferry to St. John is spectacular. Flint and Steele said, I'm booking a cruise to Alaska on Princess. What are the best options for a stateroom for 3 adults? I've heard of several different configurations. Flint and Steele, your best option is a mini suite. They have a separate sleeping area with a sofa bed in it that makes for a lot more space. Don't do anything smaller than a mini suite. I highly recommend it. Let's see. Is there, Jeff Sum wants to know, is there a website for excursions for Alaska not using the cruise ship service? Yes, there are dozens of them, Jeff. There are so many that I can't even really begin to list them. We've been in contact with a company in Ketchikan. We're going to Alaska this summer that's really wonderful. And I'm going to go ahead and try to link to that in the notes if I can afterwards. They do Misty Fjords flight seeing, they do Bear Creek zip lining in Ketchikan, and they also do the Alaska rainforest tours. They're fantastic, and I will get that to you. I believe it's Spirit of Alaska Tours. Parker wants to know, how is Guy's Burgers? They are spectacular, and Tommy from the Cruise Dudes can corroborate. They are spectacular. They are so good, and I am not a burger lover. So hope that that helps you. Anything over there you want to share with me? No? Okay, sounds good. Okay. All right, Tommy from Always Be Booked is saying that the Yoda guy in St. Maarten is a costume designer who has a museum downtown if you're into Star Wars. That is really cool. Justine said in Barbados, you should swim with a sea turtle. Sherry Sandland recommends using shore trips to book your excursions. Beth Coles says, when do you have to determine if you want to self-embark? Beth, just a couple days before you get off the ship, you'll be given a questionnaire in your room that asks you if you want to self-disembark. They will leave that on your bed for you. Okay. Got it. Let's see here. I'm sure that we have some more questions here. We have about 10 minutes left in our live stream, you guys. Please let me know if I have missed your question. Cell versus Machine says, what was your favorite part of your recent Imagination cruise? Any tips on Ensenada? I'm not sure if you want to get off the ship with your 2 teens, 15 and 16. My favorite part of my Imagination cruise was Catalina Island. Joe's Rent-A-Boat in Catalina made our trip. We walked over to the Green Pier. Are you laughing at me? Are you laughing at me? We walked over to the Green Pier and rented a boat, and it was the time of our lives until I almost killed my husband at the end of an excursion. I'm not kidding you. I've never shared this with anyone. I'm sharing this with you today because I just figured out why he's laughing. And I was not drinking alcohol at all. We had been out on this great excursion, and we were bringing the boat back into a very busy dock area. And I am a relatively experienced boat driver. I grew up on lakes and camping every 3 weeks as a child, and I thought I was pretty hot behind the wheel of that boat. And at the last minute, a giant motorboat backed out right in front of us and didn't see us at all and swung around right in front of us, and I could not stop the boat in time, and instead of putting the boat in reverse, I gunned it. And my husband had to put his arm out to try to stop the boat, and that didn't even work. In the last minute, he had to duck, and I literally almost took his head off. So I have just shared with you a secret that I've never shared with anyone before, because I was so upset that I was shaking for hours, and I almost burst into tears because I almost killed my husband. But I still think you should do Joe's Rent-A-Boat in Catalina. In Ensenada, yeah, we've kind of stopped getting off the ship too. I like just enjoying the water slides with my son. And if you're gonna do it, go to La Bufadora, the blowhole, or go ziplining. That can be really fun too. Let's see here. Meryl wants to know if we recommend booking your excursion before getting on the ship. Usually I do, Meryl. Yeah, I think you should do that most of the time. Becky said, any suggestions on what not to miss on land via Princess? Do you mean what, like what excursions to do? Oh my gosh, there's so many, Becky. I can't even begin to tell you what not to miss, but I think I'm gonna direct you back to watching our Alaska live stream from last month because we actually show photos of some of the things that we have done there in Juneau and Ketchikan and Skagway. So please check that out. Okay, let's see here. Got a question for me? I'm ready.
Shrimp79 says you missed mine, but they didn't repeat it, so I don't know what it
Okay.
was. But then we also need advice on Disneyland Hong Kong. I've seen this one twice.
Disneyland Hong Kong?
As a day trip, so we have to put that out because we haven't done
Okay,
that.
if anyone has any experience with Disneyland Hong Kong as a day trip, please let me know. And is it Shrim79 says I missed your question. We can't find your question, Shrim79. Please repost your question. Craig says you should do more live streams. Craig, we're starting to feel that way too. We really love doing the live streams because this is our chance to connect with you guys. We love it. This is, I mean, how else can we talk to hundreds of people that are subscribers all at once? So yes, we absolutely would love to do that. Aaron, thank you. I hope we answered your questions. Paul is saying they always book their excursions in advance. I highly recommend. Denisha said I should leave the boat driving to the hubs. Denisha, in the future, when bringing the boat back into a very busy harbor area, I'm going to do that. I will still drive it on the open ocean, but yeah, I think so too, because it's one of those cranky, you know, the kind that you have to, what is that called? An outboard motor? Where you have to like, you have a steering wheel, but you don't have the normal throttle. So you have to like rotate the throttle. Oh, it was horrible. So yes, Denisha, I will. Okay, sounds good. Ron, my husband's name is Mr. Cruise Tips TV. he's shy. He doesn't want to tell you. He doesn't want to tell you his name. So we call him. Everyone calls him Mr. Cruise Tips TV over here. Let's see here. Jackie said love Catalina and La Bufadora in Ensenada. Sue says, does Coral Princess have an indoor heated pool? Sue, 100% sure. I think that class of pool has and one not. Let's see here. Bonnie said, I guess Mr. Cruise Tips TV really doesn't want to be revealed. No more live stream.